Testing. Hello. Let's see who tunes in. Now I'll just end it. Just figure hop on, do this now. We'll see. Hey, Defworld, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. I got a bunch of albums I just want to talk about. We'll see where it goes and see who tunes in. Yeah, I got a bunch of that. A lot of death metal came out this year. A lot of death doom, death grind. A lot of great albums. Go. DNA, how you guys doing? Thank you for coming in. How you guys doing? How's Anthony? I heard of that band, um, Hellsword. I heard. I got nothing by them right now, but I think I saw them on here, if I'm not mistaken. And over on Bandcamp, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you. Trying. I'm just trying to keep my mind off tomorrow. Just trying to keep going. How's Anthony? Deaf World. I'm having shoulder surgery done. My third one. So I'm just trying to keep my mind off. I could be there tomorrow at 11. No, you're good. You're good. Basically, I was gonna do just a pre-record of like my top 20 death metal albums. I'm like, I've been putting it off. Let me just do a maybe hop on, do a live. Hey, Anthony. I'm hoping. Just want to get it done. Let's see who else decided to tune in. Yeah, tell me about it, especially when I probably got just over probably 180, maybe 200 releases this year, and I got to break them down by genre and everything. It's not easy. Therefore, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Not not real religious at all, but eh, sometimes things help. There's Mrs. Metalhead. I, I knew she was in there somewhere. All right, let me just get started with one that are in here. If anybody else comes in, don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't put nothing into the description yet or the title of it. I'll do that after. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, honey. Thank you. Yeah, definitely rock. Yeah, Ozzy and Lemmy will come down. All right, this year for me it was a heavy year. It was there were so many just great releases all across metal in general, but especially death metal, dark metal, death grind, doom, you name it, thrash metal, hardcore, black metal. Hey Zach, how you doing? Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you. Basically, this is gonna be like a top 20 like death metal of 2025. I'm also working on maybe a top 20, 15 or 20 black metal release. Which that that's gonna be hard to do because there are so many good ones. And it probably after my surgery, I'm probably gonna do a pre-record of like top 30 or so thrash hardcore and like gothic doom releases. I got a bunch. Uh, One of the first ones that came out from me, a band called Blood Monolith. They're from DC. This is their debut. Um, Death grind, some doom, thrashy at times, um, heavy. They're originally from Jersey, um, but according to their site, they're saying now they're in DC. I know they're going back and forth. Um, Killer, absolute killer death metal, death grind, some doom, thrashy parts, um, nonstop. This album came out on Profound Lore Records. Profound Lore has been putting out amazing stuff this year. Very heavy. When I first heard these guys, I was absolutely blown away by them. And it's like one of the albums that I was looking forward to like the most coming out this year out of probably about 200 releases that I got. Strong album, heavy, violent, sinister album. No skip tracks. Um, into like autopsy, suffocation, um, early incantation, impaled, anything along that line. Check these guys out. You won't be disappointed. Like I said, originally from Jersey, but now it says they're residing in DC. I always say when a band is formed in that, I always say when a band is formed in that state, that's where they're from. And a lot of people get confused when they move to another state. Shred Bit, how you doing, brother? Thank you for coming in. How's Cali doing? Shred, check these guys out. Blood Monolith. You won't be disappointed. Um, Death grind, doomy at times, thrashy, catchy riffs, nonstop, guttural sounding. Originally from Jersey. Check these guys out. Blood Monolith, The Calling of Fire. My my top my top 20 of 2025. Kid, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How you feeling? How was your surgery, man? Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. Trying to keep my mind off it. All right, one of the next ones, another band from uh, from Jersey, now residing in DC. Contusion, death metal, grind. guttural sounding riffage, um, hard, sinister at times, deadly. Um, the name of it, in, insatiable for death. Just a nasty, ugly grind death album. No skip tracks. Heavy, heavy album. I've talked about these guys in the past on streams. Um, very heavy. If you're into autopsy, again, suffocation, things along that line, definitely check these guys out. You, you won't be disappointed. That's number 19. There were so many albums that came out um this year. It was so hard to like place them. For me, it's like from 20 to 10, it's just like the ones I was listening to, and like 10 down to one are like the ones that were constantly, in my player continuously. Um, one of the next ones, I think I swapped this one around by accident, didn't realize it. Oh shoot, yeah, right there. Reburied. This is their, I think their second or third release. Their last one came out in 2023. Um, old school death metal, grind at times, some doom. They're from Seattle. Um, wicked riffs in this one. Uh, the hooks in this are just mind blowing. 50 Aussie, how you doing? ARC, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. Everybody, thanks for coming in. This one is Flesh Morning. This came out on Iron Fortress. Iron Fortress Records this year has been putting out some amazing releases. Um, in every genre, primarily it's death metal, grind, gore, doomy sounding. And this one blew me away. I was very impressed with this record this year. Um, they got wicked riffs, hounding drops, hooks, guttural, not a skip track on here. Like from Seattle. If you haven't yet, check these guys out. Reburied on Iron Fortress. You won't be disappointed. Definitely a great death grind doomy album of of the year. One next one, guys from Italy. They called Unbirthed. I was waiting for this album to come out. This came out on New Standard Elite Records. Uh, at Aspartamus Besmirchment. Do I have to say that again? Because I won't be able to. Um, it's like their second album, I think, or third. Might be their fourth. I'm fairly new to these guys. Um, relentless old school death metal sound. Um, heavy riffs. Um, very Cannibal Corpse, early Cannibal Corpse sounding, suffocation sounding. Um, newer newer to mid incantation, sorrow even. Um, just a heavy album, very well put together. Lee, my brother, how are you doing? Welcome in. I'm working on a. I might do it tonight, if not after my surgery. I'm working on a top 15, top 20 black metal live or pre-record. I've been putting it off, and finally, Mr. Metalhead said, "Go do it." And I've been trying to keep my head straight about the surgery coming up, and I've just been taking time off. But Unbirthed, check these guys out. Nasty record. Definitely one of my top favorites. One of my favorite ones of the year is from Sweden. Carnal Savagery. I've been into these guys. When I first heard them in like 2021, I think it was their Fiendish record. Old school death metal, no frills, not a skip track. I love the artwork these guys put out. It came out on Moribund Records. If you like that old school death metal sound, check these guys out. I have been I've talked to these guys on Instagram. I talked to them on here. Um, it has that classic Sweden sound. Monomarth, Dismember, Entombed, Agent Death, who I'm going to talk about later on. Um, Even some like obituary thrown in for good measure. It's just an absolute killer release. These guys, it's like their sixth album, I believe. They put out two albums in 2024, two albums in 2021 or 2022. Very under the radar, very overlooked, in my opinion. Absolutely killer death metal. Um, if you're into, like I said, Monomarth, Entombed, deal along that line, check them out. Some of their past ones, 2024 release, I think it was. Uh, grave worms, cadavers, coffins and bones. It's absolute killer record. This one I think is one of their best all around. Like I said, no skip tracks whatsoever on this record. It's heavy, it's harsh, it's it's everything you want in that old school death metal sound. There's some thrashy parts to it. The breaks on this are just insane. Um, very reminiscent of like mid '90s thrash or death metal to like maybe late '90s. But definitely, if you guys haven't, check these guys out. Freddie, hey brother, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. One of the next one I've talked about on people's streams. This one, this one I could have put in my top five. Sodomic Baptism. They're from Belarus, I think, wherever the hell that is. I think somewhere Brazil, I guess. Um, Nasty death metal, some doom, thrashy at times, um, guttural sounding. Um, the riffs on this are just insane from top to bottom. There's no no skip tracks on this record. It's definitely an album that I think was overlooked this year by a lot of people. Um, this came out on Brutal Records. It's not a real long record by any stretch. Um, but it's a very strong record in my opinion. Um, some of the songs do drag on, but not overly. Production is not overdone. It's just right, especially for like a death grind doom sound that they have. So definitely, if you haven't yet, Stomach Baptism, check these guys out and catch them in the chat here. Miss A, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. With genres, everything. Yeah. One of the next one, um, I've been a fan of these guys since I first heard them back in '06, I believe it was. Now, everybody knows Norway is known for their black metal, uh, the typical bands, but the new Blood Red Throne, I think, is an all around great, great record by them. I think it's one of their best. This came out on Soul Cellar. Um, like straight up death metal, blast beats, thrashy at times. It has some wicked chugs on this for quite some time now. Um, and I guess I think this is their one of their all around best records. I know, like one of my favorite still is the Come On Done album. I think it is. Um, it's just it's a strong record. I know this has been on everybody's list. Everybody's talked about it. Um, this is one band that's you know they've been around doing it for so long. lot of people seem to forget that they've been doing this for what, over 20 years now. And I guess that um, Slit Skin is the album. Check these guys out. Yeah, 90s had the best extreme. I've said it in the past. I've said it in the past. I'll keep saying it. Mid 90s to the end of the 90s to maybe like the early 2000s. After that, it's hit or miss. Um, Especially, you know, for me, I think I told Lee about this in Shred. Come Mrs. Metal, I can tell you, I'm very particular with black metal. That's why I always said, coming up, probably if not this stream, next stream, those two EPs you put out, brother, killer. I'm gonna break those down probably in the next stream. Probably when I get done with the surgery, when I'm sort of recovered. Yeah, uh I got a few of their albums. I know I'm missing a couple uh, of their stuff. I got like I think two or three defleshed albums. I got them over there somewhere in that area right there. I got mine already. One of the next albums, Ossuary. These guys are from Wisconsin. Um, they're not to be confused with the the other death metal band from Pennsylvania, and there's another one I get like a groove metal band, if I'm not mistaken, from I want to say Minnesota, and there's also a band from Texas by the same name that was a like a black and death metal band back in the day. Um, they might be still around, but a lot of people get these guys confused with those guys, and totally different guys. It's like a death metal grind, some gore thrown in, doomy at times, guttural growling, catchy riffs, breakdowns. The hooks in this are just tremendous. Um, Came out on Darkness Shall Rise Records. Abhorrent Worship. These guys, when I first heard them, I was blown away by it. Um, Strong album. Again, another album that could have been lower, like my top five. But definitely, if you haven't yet, check these guys out. Ossuary. Very, very good band. And a quality output for a record this year. One of them, the next one of my favorite death metal albums, period, the entire year. They're from New York. Castrator. These ladies, it's a four-piece, all-female band. Killer death metal, uh, old school death metal, thrashy. The riffs are nasty as hell. Uh, the hooks, the drops in this. Clarissa, the lead singer, is one of my favorite female lead singers, female death metal lead singers. Um, I think my all-time favorite right now is Cheney Crab from um, Entheos, who's coming out with a new album hopefully next year. This one came out on Dark Descent Records. Straight straight up death metal, old school death metal. I've been playing. I haven't been spinning this record since I got it. It's a heavy record, very good death metal. I look forward to seeing what these girls can do going forward. They did play recently here. I went missed that show for something, but check these ladies out. Castrator, Cor- I can't read the title. Coordinate coordination of the coordination of the grotesque. Absolutely killer, top to bottom. No skip, no filler tracks, no skip tracks. Production on this is done perfectly. Um, Not overdone, not underdone. It's perfectly done. Like I said, four-piece female killer death metal. I'm dying to see what these chicks go. You know, in the future, what they come out with. Definitely check this band out. Sorry, I got them scattered because with this rainbow cord from a distance. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. See, Mrs. Miller will tell you, I've been going back and forth with everything. I've had CDs stacked ready to go. I just been going through some shit, put it that way. I just been I'll come in here, sit down, I'll throw something on YouTube, or I'll just start playing something. But just try and get this, keep my head out of tomorrow. Keep my head straight on for tomorrow's surgery. I'm just trying to like ignore it, but should be all right. One of the next ones from New Jersey, band called Compulsed, Amalgamated Anguish. It came out on, I forgot what label it came out. It doesn't even show it. Um, Black and death metal, some grind, very guttural sounding. Um, if you're into like Embalmer, Dying Fetus, Deeds of Flesh, um, Hemorrhage, even, which Hemorrhage came out with two things this year, two EPs, which I have one of them over there. Heavy grind. These guys, from top to bottom, it's just in your face, sinister at times, ugly sounding. Um, Wound, Wound Descent is like one of my favorite tracks off this record. Heavy, harsh. It just it, there, this album doesn't let up. You could be going like 1,000 miles an hour, and it just stops and it breaks down and it comes right back. It's an absolute killer release. If you guys haven't yet, check them out. They're from New Jersey, Compulsed. Another another band that I can't wait to see them go further. Ready? Yeah. Bengals. Ay, Maron. Um, Shred here in the city. Um, there's a couple places. In Brooklyn, St. Vitus. Um, there's a place. Shit, I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the place. Warzone or something like that. It's right in Brooklyn. In Jersey, Starling Ballroom for like arenas. I would say MSG. I think MSG has the best sound, hands down. Um, yes, Danette Nancy. Thank you, Warsaw. Thank you. There you go. I was tipping my tongue. I couldn't remember it. There's also St. Vitus Club in I want to say in Red Hook, if it's still there. There's a bunch. Tone Joker, thank you. There's a show coming up, I think in March at Pier 17, I think it is, Pier 34. Um, it's not a bad venue. It's basically you're on a boat, like right at the pier. They've had shows there. That like this past summer there was shows there. I forget who's playing there. I know Barry said he was going to. I forget who the hell it was. Yeah, I wanted to go to that, but my shoulder wouldn't let me, to say the least. Um, I think Abortus gonna be playing back in this area soon, if I'm not mistaken. I know they were playing. There was talk about them playing it at the Palladium in the city, and also Paramount. Yeah, actually, Lee, me and Mrs. Meadow were talking about going on that 70 tons of metal cruise when it comes back around. So so if you want to get in touch when that comes back around, Mrs. Meadow like get tickets to her job. So yeah, um, I know I was talking to Barry about that too. So when that comes back around, we'll let you know, 'cause I know it a lot of times it'll take out a dock out of here in the city. I think out of Manhattan or Brooklyn. Yeah, Kiss Cruise. No, that's too many Kiss fans for me. All right, hold on. Where am I at? Oh, number 10, new album by Ashen. Um, great death metal, Aussie death metal. This is their second release, I believe it is. I think their last one came out in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Ritual, Ritual from the Ash, or something like that. Um, this has former members of Vesper Descent in it. Um, great record. A lot of times, heavy has that old school feel to them. Leave the Flesh Behind. It came out on Redefining Darkness Records. Another killer death metal release this year. Definitely check out this guy's Ashen. Great record. I was pleasantly surprised with this record. Um, Another one that everybody's talking about, Perdition Temple. This has to be their best album since their 2020 release. I think it was um, Sacraments of Desperation. I think it was. I got it somewhere over there. I believe somewhere over there. Um, Everybody knows Gene's in this. Palabuki, Mister, doing all these different bands. Um, Olivia Throne, they're no one. I have that coming from Hell's Headbangers. With the mail being delayed, that should be here hopefully, hopefully next week. But definitely check out the new Persian Temple. Strong record by them. Um, black and death metal, um, dark and death metal with a lot of black metal elements. This could have gone either way for me. I could have done this on for death metal or um, list of like black metal. But definitely one of my favorite records by them. Like I said, quite possibly their best since 2020. Strong record, heavy album. You know, and with with Gene doing so many different bands, you know, everybody's calling it the Angel Corpse, you know, reunion. But I think he's been in what, like 5 or 6 different bands, and like 2 or 3 active bands. So definitely check it out. Yeah, Lee, basically, yeah. That's just like um um. My mind just went blank. Living Throne, same thing. It's basically the same members with maybe 1 or 2 different, in each band. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. I I I call it the Morbid Angel crew. And that's you know they sound like between all of them. What comment? I gotta change the settings. Apple, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff by Angel Corpse. Next one of my favorite records of this year, Vonificus. Killer record, heavy record. This is a debut. They had like 3 EPs out and like a demo. This is their debut. And I can't even read today. Instination, heavy record. It came out on Comatose Music. Sorry guys, my head's all over the place right now. And this is still in my CD player. Yeah, I've been listening to this for the past 2 3 days. It's a heavy record. Great debut by these guys. I'm interested to see more of them. Killer record, straight up death metal grind. Um, Production is not overly done. I think it's done just right. Heavy record, top to bottom, no skip tracks. Brutal as all hell. I think I skipped one. Yep. Another one, the new Malformed. It came out on Dark Descent and Extremely Rotten. Uh, Confinement of the Flesh, old school death metal. Um, Cannibal Corpse, Sorrow, Obituary, Deicide. There's the tape. It sounds so good on tape. Like it's like that old analog, the old analog sound. Clean, clean J card all the way. Um, no skip tracks on this at all. It's that old, that old sound that you know death metal should be. Like Lee was saying, about how the years, with the progression of death metal and black metal and the changes of it, a lot can be said about like that for death metal. I think some of the strongest death metal was in the '90s, some in the early 2000s. I mean, it's coming back now, and there's a lot of great releases this year alone. Um, I see death metal just continuing to grow and grow and grow and just continue to take over, and just year after year we're getting great releases here, and in every aspect of metal, especially in death metal, whether it's grind, black and death metal, death doom. Um, so many great bands. If you guys haven't yet, check out Forming Productions. Now check out Lee's latest creation. I got him over there. Um, Killer black metal, Australian black metal. But now he lives in Jersey, so it's like a Australian Jersey mix. You know, like 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 Paul from Kai. You know. um, One of the next ones is Vile Apparition. Dark Darkness Set Records, Malignity, killer record, old school death metal. One of my absolute favorite releases this year. Another one that I've been playing constantly. It, this type of record, you know, if you're doing something, just throw it on. The songs are not overdone, not underdone. Production is absolutely great on these records. Um, Clean, and most of all, is no AI. People know how I feel about the artwork with AI in metal, especially in metal. I don't think I don't think AI belongs in metal. Period. Actually, killer album cover. Um, Top to bottom, there's no skip tracks on this record. Um, you know, the intro kicks right in. to a barrage nonstop. It's like foot on the gas, and then it just takes off. Hooks in this, riffs, um, tremolos, you name it, it's all there. It's a heavy album. It's a brutal album, start to finish. Definitely check them out. Bile Operation, Malignity. Check these guys out. One of the next ones, this could have easily been my top three, top two. The new album by Hate, Bellum Regis, um, Polish Polish death metal. They This is one band that started off more as a black and death metal band, like when they first started off. But I think they've they've come full circle with it. I think this is one of their absolute best records. I know everybody, when you talk about Poland, first band that comes up for a lot of people is Behemoth. Um, the Behemoth album is not on my top 20. Um, Not a real bad album, but I couldn't get past a few things with that Behemoth record. Um, they're still Behemoth to me. They're still one of my favorite bands, but for me, the new Hate album was absolutely killer. Um, in a way, it sounds like a good combination of like the earlier stuff, Kane's Way, um, Awaken the Liar, um, and even there's a little bit of their debut, um, Lord's Avenger, I think it is 97, 98. There's a lot of that in this record. It's a fierce album. It's a heavy album. It's a brutal album. Um, no skip tracks, and like I said, I think they've come full circle with everything. And this might be their best release since probably probably '05, maybe. But definitely, if you haven't yet, check these guys out. Absolutely killer band. Yeah, like I said, when people say Poland, the Basslands, it's like everybody thinks right off the bat of Behemoth. Mrs. Metalhead loves Behemoth. That's why when I said when that album came out, I was very skeptical about that album. I told everybody when I talked about that Behemoth album when it first came out, throw away the title of that album and a couple of those tracks, and it's not a bad Behemoth record. Um, I think it would. I think the Behemoth record that Behemoth record, it's probably their best album since probably I would say the Satanist, if not Demigod, and I love Demigod. Demigod's one of my favorite records by them. But my all-time favorite by them is probably Grom. That's like their early stuff. Back in '94, I think that came out. Hell, I was still in high school when that came out. So yeah, but definitely check out that new Hate record. It's a killer record. Like I said, that could have easily been in my top three. Um, one of my favorite, one of my favorite albums this year. I did it on my Metal Minute. I talked about them. Decrepancy. This is their second one. The Fake Morning. Brutal grind doom. Um, Melodic at times. Riff driven. Um, Almost like a dark and doom goth at times. A sinister album. Um, an ugly record. It top to bottom. There's no skip tracks. It came out on Carbonized Records, another label that's been putting out insane stuff. Um, check it right there. When this is over, I'll update the description and I'm gonna put all the titles in the description with the links and everything. But definitely check out this album by these guys. I like this album. Like I said, their last one came out in 2023, I believe it was 2022. I got it over there somewhere. definitely check this album out. Like I talked about it on the Metal Minute with Shred. Definitely check these guys out. Next one, I don't think it needs any introduction. The new Cryptopsy. That whole Lord Worm era is over. This is an absolute monster fucking record by Cryptopsy. And instead of violence, it came out on Season of Mist. Absolutely, start to finish, no skip tracks. These guys are back, and they're back with a vengeance. Um, I think their last album, As Gamora Burns, was a very, very, very good album. I think this one tops that record by a long shot. This is a return for them, in my opinion, to um, Whispers 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 Supremacy. Um, then you'll beg Blasphemy Made Flesh. It's a return to form for them. I think that whole era of them trying to refine themselves is over. Um, Technical death metal legends, in my opinion. No skip tracks. It's a heavy record. The vocals on this are downright commanding at times. Um, Almost like very evil sounding at times. The guitars in this are insane. Um, Oliver's drumming is second to none. Killer, killer, top to bottom. That easily could have been my top two, but it's a killer record. That record, when it came out, I was very skeptical about because of how their past couple albums were, and it blew me away. Like when I heard the first single off it, I was hooked on it. Again, Cryptopsy, check these guys out. Check this album out. It's not a bad record. Yeah, I I got a bunch of thrash that I still gotta put in some type of order. Um, I might, depending on how I feel after my surgery tomorrow, I might do a pre-record of that of all my thrash that I got, which is that one's gonna be a combination of thrash metal, hardcore, um, some death doom gothic type, like the new November's Doom, New Paradise Lost, things along that line. I might even throw in what you'll call it, the new Gaull's Weird on that one. It's not a real bad album. It's just there's only so much of Gall you can really stomach. It's not a real bad album by him this time around. But as for the thrash, I'll be getting to that. There's a lot of new thrash bands that came out with stuff, debuts and everything. So I'll definitely, if I do it, that'll probably be like Saturday or Sunday. All depends on how I feel and how much drugs I'm on after. um, Buffering. How am I buffering? Mrs. Miller, we should be good. I'm showing good over here. I don't have to find it. Yeah. All right. The next two are my top two of death metal releases for 2025. One of my favorite debuts, hands down, Ancient Death, Ego Dissolution. Get this record. It is a strong record. Um, Old school death metal. It came out on Profound Lore. Um, Cannibal Corpse sounding, deicide, suffocation, um, sorrow, anything along that line from like that mid 80s sound or mid 90s, like early 2000s sound. Sorry, it was 80s. Killer record. This one I was going back and forth with my number one. killer record. I want to see what these guys do going forward. Very strong, absolutely without a doubt, one of my absolute favorite of the year. Ancient Death, Ego Dissolution. Check these guys out. You won't be disappointed. I love the artwork on this record too. All right, my of top death metal album of 2025. A lot of people get these guys confused with two other bands. This is a debut by a band called Clairvoyance. They're from Poland. Death doom, some grind, guttural sounding, melodic at times, riffs, hard hitting. There's two bands with the same name. One's from Minnesota, I believe, and the other one is, I think it's from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. One's like a dark and death metal band, I believe, and the other one's like a power groove metal band, I think. A lot of people were saying that they changed. It's not the same band. This is their debut on Carbonized Records. And like I said, Carbonized Records has been putting out some insane releases, insane shit this year. This is my favorite record of the year. And out of, the 20 I just mentioned, and probably about the 20 others that could have gone on here, this album is insane. It blew me away. It's a short album. It's 6 tracks. It's not. It's. A lot of people consider it an EP, but it's not. I think it's a little bit longer than an EP. I think it's just over 34 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Top to bottom, no skip tracks. Pick this album up. Absolute killer record. Clairvoyance, chasm, chasm of chasm, whatever it is, of immurement on Carbonized Records. Absolutely killer record. Um, but those are just my top 20. There's so many other great death metal albums that did come out that I was listening to, but they didn't. These were the ones that I kept going back to, that I kept referring people to, that I kept talking about. Um, One of the ones that didn't get on the list because it came out a little bit late for me. Cuernos del Chino came out on Formian Productions. If you guys haven't heard of them, check them out. Um, Dark and black and death metal, black metal undertones, pagan metal thrown in for good measure, ugly, grueling, nasty in your face, bite you. It's a heavy record. It's a great production. I'm glad that Shred and Lee got these guys with them. Great record. There's no one that I've been going back and forth with between this one, and the ones I just talked about. It's a heavy record. Oh God. Yeah, Poland has been Poland has been putting out some great releases over the past, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 years. I mean, they did it in the 90s, 2000s, but past, I'll say between now and probably like I said, 3, maybe 5 years now. There's been a bunch of great stuff coming out of Poland, out of Norway. Finland's been putting out killer things. I mean, awesome stuff. Um, just this year for me, personally, it was just a strong year for death metal all the way around. Whether it was black and metal, uh, like dark and doom, something like that. With the grind thrown in. Um, the albums that really just grabbed me. Like I said, there's so much great albums that came out this year, and there's albums that I missed that I'm still waiting on. Thrash metal wise, there was a bunch, and I mean, I have probably about 30 right there. And there's also a lot of black metal records that came out that I was iffy on. I cut that down to like, I don't know, 15, maybe 20. Yeah. I got the Electrocutioner on my Bandcamp. Um, got somewhere over there. I'm waiting for that to come in. Um, through CDN. I was actually doing Bandcamp. It was like the shipping was outrageous. I was like, the shipping was like if you were buying two CDs. Then CDN kept going back and forth with their strike over there. Right now, it's not available through CDN. Um, I kept looking and nothing, but I do have it on my Bandcamp though, and I think I have it on a disc. Actually, it might be over in with the thrash metal. That and the new Grave Ripper album, which is absolutely killer. Those two albums I have on my Bandcamp. I burned them to a disc. Um, I will talk about them. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do it. Um, all depending on how I feel this weekend. I'll do a live or I'll do a pre-record. Either one. What I want to do more this year. I know last year for me was just total shamble for me between moving, surgery, and then getting this all set up. Thanks to Mrs. Metalhead. Um, it was just for me personally, it was an off year. I mean, I started my channel 2024, I think, and am I where I want to be? No, that's just because last year was just a down year for between surgery, moving, and everything else. This year I'm pushing it further. I want to do more lives. A hell of a lot more than I've been doing. I look forward to doing work with Lee Shred, Miss A, uh, Barry, my brother. How you doing? What's going on, man? Barbaric. I just talked about the new contusion. Uh, oh my arm, right there. Great, outstanding record. This was my. I think it was like my 19th, I believe. I had this at or something like that. Yeah, great record. Heavy album. Sinister at times. Brutal, top to bottom. There's no skip tracks on this record whatsoever. This this is one of the ones I put on. And it was just like it was. I call this like a B-rated horror movie soundtrack. You just throw it on and you don't know what to expect. It's a great record. Very, very good record. Out of one speaker. Huh? What they did put in the other line out, a line in. Oh, real quick. If you guys haven't heard of it, band called Armored Knight. Um the quest for the sacred melody. Um had like a late 80s, early 90s thrash sound to them, power metal, almost like a Witchfinder General sound to these guys. I took a chance on this just by the album cover. I saw the album cover, I was like, "Ooh, it looks cool." And these guys blew me away. I'm gonna talk about these guys more probably in the next weeks or so. This came out on Dying Victims Productions. Very good album. Very, very good album. Because it has that late 80s, 90s thrash sound. Um, proggy at times. Um, Doomy has like that old school Witchfinder General sound, almost like a shit. What's the other band that did Saint Vitus sound to them? Very very heavy album, melodic, riff driven, very good vocals, very good vocals. That was a surprise album for me. Who's in here? Yes, if anybody hasn't, you need to go for Productions ASAP. Support the underground, support the indies. Lee is putting out some amazing shit with Warhammer 666. Um, my favorite ball, Coconut. Paul Reckai's putting out some amazing stuff. Foreign Productions, top to bottom, putting out some amazing stuff. Um, I will be talking about Maddox's project. Uh, Anywhere that wins, I have that in my um, my black metal top I want to do. I'll do that tonight. My shoulder is really starting to bother me now. I gotta be at the surgery at like 10 o'clock tomorrow. But I'm not ready to go yet. Ask me anything. Get get to know the bulldog, Mrs. Metalhead. You know all about me, so you don't count. As I get smacked in the back of the head, that there's like Freddie was saying about thrash metal. There were so many great thrash metal albums that came out this year. Executioner being one. Grave Ripper, the new Night record was absolutely killer. The new Deadhead band record that came out. It's really the first time hearing them guys. It blew me away. Also, a band called Void, VOID, killer thrash metal as a debut record by them, which I'll be talking about them. Like I said, when I put together that best of thrash, that stream's going to be like a combination of thrash, hardcore things along that line. I'm trying to divide them up between death metal, black metal. Um, why I'm at it. You guys don't mind another half an hour, do you? Yeah. Barry, where's that at? New Pharmacist album is going to be killer. That's what Barry is that down at Pier 17 or Pier 34 down there? Queens, yeah. Yep. I know where it is. Yeah. That's another place. Witch up. Ah. Yeah, if I wasn't having surgery, I we would be there, but ugh, that'd be rough for me going there with stitches and staples in my arm and my shoulder with a sling on. Did that one time, I'll never do it again. Hey, Barry, I gotta reach out to you. Um, I'll text you. That Megadeth movie is playing at that theater over here by us. I believe in what in Yonkers. Uh, uh, Regal, I think it is. Mrs. Metalhead told me about it. New Revenge album is very, very good. I got it over there. Um, the thing with Revenge is this: a lot of their things. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Revenge fan. I love their style. I love the war metal. A lot of the Revenge albums, to me, they trickle into one another. And their latest one, like I said, I got it right there. I think it's a great album. It's just they tend to trickle in to each other, and I don't want to say sound alike, but everybody says, "Oh, that's their best one. That's their best one. This is their best one." Um, my favorite one is what was it? Like third, their third album. Um, shit, I got it right there. Um, if I name it out, goddamn, shit, my mind just went blank on that one. But I got it right there. The new Revenge is a quality record. It is. It's very very good. I might have it over here somewhere. Um, it's just like I said, they tend to trickle together. Not sound alike, but borderline. You know, don't get me wrong. I love Revenge. I've been a fan of them since I first heard them. I think they're they're one of my favorite war metal bands. Period. Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, I mean, there was some. Oh, Have you guys met my honorary MOD right here? I mean, he's a combination of a few people, but that's my honorary MOD right there, Mister Chris Peters. Yeah, me and him don't get along too much. Oh shit. Yeah, he's a combination of like that thing's a combination of like maybe 3 or 4 people that I could fucking care less if they jumped off a bridge right now. Yeah. oh, I the thing is when people start mentioning his name, like when I first met Barry on here and Shred and everybody on here, um, I forgot who was saying his name, and I'm like, I can't stand this dude. I can't stand him. I think he's a pompous fucking piece of shit asshole. And then when I started seeing others, I'm like, okay, they all saw what I saw with this prick. I I never liked him from day one, like because I even before I started my channel, I was watching him, and some of his shit, I was like, dude, you're a fake. Not to mention his one of his favorite bands of all time. He won't admit it. One of his favorite bands of all time is Slipknot. When I heard that from him, I was like, "You're a fake. You're a fraud." I yeah, douche canoe. uh, I plan on doing. I plan on doing an interview with Lee and Kai on a stream. I want to do an interview with Revik also. I was gonna try doing one with Drucifer, but you know YouTube has their ways of banning people for no damn reason. So yeah, but I'm gonna put this together probably for over the weekend. This is the top. This is just some of my black metal. I got more of it, like I said. Um, one of the best, if not the best, black metal, black and death metal, black and roll, whatever people want to call them, records out. Exia, great record. They're playing what next week, guys, down in Texas, I believe. Um, definitely, if I could get down there, I would, but I can't. I would love to go and meet everybody. Maybe in the future, definitely. Yeah, great guy, my ass. Um, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna be working on, not only with the stack right here. Like I got a bunch of thrash over there. I'm gonna be doing also a video of the new studio setup, like I did of my old one. Um, the lights that I have um, that go around on the cases and everything, I can program them to music. I'm gonna have Lee's Wormer 666. I didn't come here to make friends song while I'm playing it in the background. I did it before testing them, and it that song fits these lights perfectly. So that's coming up soon. Um, yeah, Mrs. Metalhead is my is my behind the scenes person. Just like Miss A, Mrs. Metalhead does things behind the scenes for me. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. Shit, where'd it go? Aha. Sorry about that. I thought I had it. I gotta give a big shout out to Mrs. Metalhead, Barry, Lee, and Miss A, even Shred for this, for helping out. Go to Evaristo 194. Killer merchandise. Barry, you knocked it out the park. The shirts are not that cheap material. They're done on Gildan. I think I told some people, Mrs. Metal and I were toying around with logos, and we found the logo, and she just put her magic to it, did her touch ups to it, the fonts and everything. Knocked it out of the park. Uh, Also the lettering, the different fonts. She was knocking it out of the park. I sent it to Barry. I sent it to Lee. I sent it to Shredded Miss A, and they we instead of having the NY, Barry just told me make it New York, and the shirt came out incredible. The link for it is in my description. Also, it's on if you go to Barry's eBay store, Evaristo 194, I believe it is. You check them out there. I plan on doing more stickers, probably keychains, maybe little posters or whatever. But again, Barry, thank you so much, Mrs. Meadow. Thank you so much. Yeah. See, I was close. 1974, but actually killer. Um, yeah, and it's I'm a I'm not gonna take no shots at people, but I will because I don't like them, but I don't care. It's not that cheap material like a lot of streamers that I used to know have, where the shit falls apart after wearing it for a day. Um, it's on the Gildan shirts. It's strong material. It lasts. It doesn't shrink. It doesn't fade. It's perfect. I got that one. I got the Warhammer shirt. I got the two of berries. I got the Shreddy Freddy shirt, and I got the when friends come together shirt. I got them in my t-shirt closet, which has about 500 band shirts in that closet. Yeah, people think I'm insane because I have. When I tell them I'm a collector of not just CDs and shit, when they see my T-shirts, they're like, "Oh my god, I have one whole closet just full of band shirts." Yeah, yeah. I was ready to go to Memphis the other day. I think it was the other day. Yeah, yeah, because Miss Mel was wearing mine that day. Yeah, the long sleeves. I definitely want long sleeves. Shred. I got looks. I got looks when I first had the Warhammer shirt. Yeah, I got looks, especially the back of it. Yeah, and they're like, people were just staring at it. I'm like, hey, don't like it, don't look. I always say, hey, if people can't take a joke, screw them. You know? Yeah, I got my vest right here, right behind me. It's right now. It's attached to my leather right now. But yeah, and that's one of them. I'm working on a second battle vest also. But yeah, like I said, going forward, I'm gonna start doing more lives. Like when I first started doing it, I was doing a lot of lives, and I started doing the pre-records. I got a I got a lot of shorts I want to put up. Um, you can see that is covered right there. That's where I'm gonna do my like my shorts and everything right there. And yes, that's an original No Sleep to Hammersmith LP vinyl from Motorhead, my favorite live album ever made. Um, Mrs. Metalhead found me album I was talking about coming up. Um, Ludachrist vinyl uh, live at CBGB's '86, like March and April, and also the live DRI album from CBGB's in '84. I found that on vinyl. I'm gonna be talking about that. I know the vinyl community. I know it has to be a certain color. It has to be a certain pressing. It has to be a certain spiral, and you know, yeah, yeah. I mean, or else, we have a we, we have a bald metal Mickey that likes to run it, or you he used to run his mouth, not no more. I was I was trying to figure out who he looked like when I first saw this dude, and I couldn't remember who it was, and I realized who Metal Mickey reminded me of. You guys remember that singer Moby? That's who he looked like. That's who he reminded me of when I first saw him. I told Mr. Miller, I said I can't put my finger on it. I said, holy shit, it looks like Moby. Looks just like him. I told you. Oh shit. Oh, Bond villain. Yeah, that's true too. Shit, I didn't think about that. But guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, I want to thank everybody for supporting me, pushing me to do this. I gotta thank Mrs. Metalhead, Barry, Shred, Lee, Mrs. A for just telling me, fuck what everybody else says and does. Do your thing. I think my dog just came in my room. Mrs. Miller, I think Jax just came in. Yeah, but oh, where is he? Oh, you want to see my dog? Come here, bud. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Who's that? Look. Who's that? Who's that? Look. Is she right there? You say hi? You say hi? Who's that? Who's that? Come here. What's up, buddy? That this is my big boy. 110-pound Rot Shepherd Pit Bull mix. What's up, buddy? That's a big boy. You gotta go outside, huh? Pain in the ass. Yeah, that Metal Dicky. Yeah, that that's my little buddy. Yeah, Scar will recruit him soon. Yeah. Yeah. Um Jax. Like the like Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Yep. And he has the same attitude also. Paul, what's going on, brother? How you doing? I was just talking about you. Oh yeah. Sons of Anarchy is my favorite show, hands down. Mrs. Metal calls me her Jax because there's a picture of me of she that she took of me and she put it side by side with Charlie Hunnam. And when he had his beard a little bit longer, and when I had my vest on and my gear on and everything, I look identical to him. I didn't believe it until she put it side by side. I look identical to Jack Steller, identical. Mayans, I wish the Mayans would have gone farther. It's just all that bickering with between what you call it, Disney and what you call it. What you doing, buddy? I I just wish Mayans would have kept on going. I loved Mayans, although they Sutter keeps talking about doing the first nine, which is supposed to be a prequel to Sons of Anarchy. So I'm hoping he does it. I'm hoping he does. Yeah, same here. I could take 1,000 dogs over people any day. Get out of here, you. Want to play games? Uh-huh. See, she's playing games. Oh shit! I there it goes. I locked up my screens. But guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Um, I'm gonna update the description. I'm gonna put all the titles in the description of all the albums. I'm also gonna I'll also be tagging Formian in there, uh Kai, everybody in there, Lee. Um I'm gonna be doing black metal lists probably this weekend. All depends on how I feel. And also I might do a live thrash one again. Like I said, I want to get back into doing the lives. Um and I'm like I said, I'm pushing the channel. Like I said, I look forward to doing a lot of work with Lee, Shred, Kai, Barry, everybody. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay metal, stay hard, stay brutal, keep it metal. And like the bulldog always says, if you're gonna do something, make that shit count. I will see you guys on the next one. Yes, Barry, I'm gonna have her and you and Miss A. I'm gonna have her text you guys tomorrow, and I'll let everybody know through her how how the surgery went and everything. I should be okay. Barring any issues, I should be in and out. I gotta be there at like I think 10:30. Surgery is at like 11. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do this time to it. But yeah, their surgery's the charm, I guess. Definitely, I'll have her keep everybody posted. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Stay hard, stay brutal, keep it metal. Support the underground, support the indie labels. Head your ass over to Forming Productions right now. Check out Warrior 666. Check out Kai. Check out the underground. Support the underground. Fuck the mainstream. Again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope I gave people some ideas of new albums to check out. Like I said, I'll put the links to them in the description later on tonight. Until then, guys, stay hard, stay brutal. It's the Bulldog saying, I am out. Stay metal.